especially if you have, when you lay down, if you're, ooh, when you lay down, if your head is tilting back, it's a clear indication that you need a blanket under your head. Let's start to windshield wiper your, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Nice and easy, and not forcing your knees over, just going easily over to the side. Every time you take your knees over to the side, inhale, you expand your belly. Exhale back to the center. Inhale to expand the belly. Exhale back to center. Then start to roll your head from side to side, just your head by itself. Nice and easy. And then instead of thinking about moving your head, think about looking at the walls left and right. So just instead of the intention of being to turn the head, let the intention to be looking at the walls on either side of the room. And then take your attention back to turning your head and see how that's different. And pause in the center and take your head and knees the opposite way. Nice and easy, not forcing your knees to one side. And then pausing in the center again and taking your knees and head the same way. And come back to the center. Bring both knees in toward your chest and take 3 deep breaths. Now if you can't hold your knees, that's okay. You can hold the backs of your legs. Whatever feels best for you. And hold the right knee in and extend the left leg. Keep the leg hovering and point and flex the foot or both feet. And then rotate your ankles one way and then the other way. Pause and draw the knee in toward the chest. Let your pelvis tilt when you do that. And then switch sides. Extending your right leg, point and flex the feet. Your right leg is hovering. Rotate the ankles one way and then the other way. Good, and pause and draw the knee in further. Let your pelvis tilt. And gently release, drawing both knees in toward the chest. Now maybe you hold here or maybe you start to rock from side to side. If you're comfortable, maybe you grab your big toes or your backs of your legs. It's rocking from side to side. Let your head go into the same direction as your legs. And then see what happens when you try to do the opposite. When you turn your head the opposite way. And then again, let yourself rock from side to side. And just for fun, see if you can rock yourself to the side and then up to sit. And then the other way, if you have space. I don't know if I have space. Oh! Try not to run into try not to run into anything. All right, then stay in the seated position. Extend your right leg and bend your left knee and turn to your right. So open twist, lengthen the spine and keep your both knees facing the ceiling. Exhale as much as you can. And inhale, gently release and switch. Right knee bends, left leg extends and rotate. Look over your left shoulder. And back to center. Bring the soles of your feet to touch and take 5 deep breaths in the middle. So you can hold your ankles or your big toes. Full inhale, pause. Exhale completely empty. Draw the belly in toward the spine. Head and face relax. Pause at the bottom of the breath and inhale to fill again. When you inhale, let your belly relax. Pause and exhale completely empty. Good. Now, take your right knee and bend it again. This time you're turning towards your knee. Now, when you turn towards your knee, if that's too much, then turn away from your knee. So decide if you feel comfortable one way or the other. Now, if you're like this and you're really trying to force yourself, then you definitely need to do an open twist or sit on top of something. And if you can comfortably twist around yourself, make sure you're lengthening your spine and breathing. Completely exhale and inhale to unwind. Other way. So remember, if you're menstruating, you are not doing a closed twist. You do an open twist. Exhale completely. Inhaling to unwind and come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale forward and exhale back. Nice and easy. Keep your knees lifting. Five more times, forward and back. Inhale forward. When you inhale forward, make sure your knees are lifting and your shoulders are on your back and not up in your ears. And hold upward facing dog. Draw your hands back, so pull your hands back to bring your chest forward. And back in the downward facing dog, to come into child's pose. So child's pose for 10 deep breaths. Big toes touch, knees apart, head rests on the floor. Continue with 5 breaths. Exhaling. Inhaling up onto all fours. Move your support out of the way. So if you're here and your knees are sensitive, then you can put a blanket under your knees. If you don't have a blanket, you can fold your mat over by grabbing and creating an extra little layer right here and putting your knees on top. So from all fours, extend your right leg back and then lift it up and extend your left arm. Now I can't do that today because I'm having a pain day today. So I'm just gonna lead y'all through it. Extend your right leg back and your left leg forward and pull your knee in and extend. So knee goes in and then extend. Knee in and extend. Do that 10 times on each side. Exhale and inhale. Take your time. Exhale, inhale. Now if you feel unstable, sometimes it does help to curl your opposite toes under for more stabilization. So if your toes are not curled under and when you lift it's unstable, you could curl your toes under. 10 times on the left side now. Extend your left leg back and your right arm forward. Lift it so that it's parallel with the floor. Again, I can't do that today, unfortunately. I just figured that out when I tried it. So knee out and in. Let your spine move when you do that. So look towards your belly button. Draw your belly up towards your spine when you exhale, and then when you inhale, extend the front of your body. Once you've done 10, then rest in child's pose again and take 5 deep breaths. If child's pose doesn't feel comfortable, you can do downward facing dog instead. I know some of us have sensitive knees. So take 5 breaths once you're done. Slow, soft, deep inhalations. Slow, soft, deep exhalations. All right, good. So next is plank. So as you know, every day we do plank for 1 minute. So set yourself up for plank. You can do a full plank or modified plank. So modified plank, you take your arm and leg and extend and hold, or you can come down and hold plank like this, all right? Make sure you don't have sleeves in the way. That'll make you slide around, okay? Reach for opposite elbows to measure a distance so your shoulders in line with your elbows. Cross your fingers and then lift. Get ready, set, and go. Keep your knees lifting, eyes over thumbs. Make sure your back is not dipping. If you're on one side, switch. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gently lower down and rest. Take 5 deep breaths here. Now extending your arms and your legs. Take your right arm up and your left leg up at the same time. and then bring it back down again. So do that 10 times on each side. Inhale up, exhale down. Lift your leg as high as you can. So again, my leg is a little low today because that's what my body is doing today. So the key is to listen to your body. Good, and then switch, other side 10 times, lift and lower. Two more. Good, and bring your arms back behind you. Legs are about hip distance apart or a little wider. If you have very narrow hips, your legs are together. And then lift your upper and lower body. Deep breath, lift from your thighs. Hold for 5 breaths. Then release. I'm going to do this 3 times. So again, lift, legs together, lift. Lift your thighs. Extend your arms. And rest. Then again, lift. Hold 5 breaths. Then gently lower down. Take 5 deep breaths in a resting position. You can rest your arms by your side, or if it feels better, you can put your hands under your forehead. Next, come into Dhanurasana. So in Dhanurasana, you can put a blanket under your hips if your hips are digging into the floor. Grab your ankles one at a time. Now, if you think that this is not the right pose for you today, then maybe instead you do Bhujangasana instead. Okay, so you do that 3 times. Grabbing your ankles and lift. Hold for 5 breaths. Make sure that when you release your legs, that you release them gently. And go at your own pace of lifting. Use your legs to lift yourself up. Now, if you've already done 2 and that's enough, then you can do Bhujangasana or go into Dhanurasana a 3rd time, lifting yourself up. done. Come up onto all fours. And now Ustrasana. So Ustrasana is camel pose. You could do Ustrasana by putting your hands on your back and lift up and back like this. Or if you can, reach back and grab your heels. Now, when you do this, if you're back like this ain't it. Because the idea is to open the front of your body. So, hips in line with your knees, lift up and back. Draw your shoulders onto your back, gently pressing your hips forward. And release. Want to do that twice more, so you're doing 3 times at your own pace. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always ask. Okay, so 3 times at your own pace. The amount that you go is up to you. Of course, you can also do with, if it's easy for you to go back, you can also do with your foot flat on the floor. But make sure your knees are not too wide. You don't want to have your knees really wide. Do shoulder distance apart. Five breaths and then release. And the third time, so you don't want to take too much of a break in between. You just give yourself about 2 or 3 breaths in between and then go again. Five breaths. So when you do these poses, and I could have said this earlier, notice when an indication of you doing a little too much might be if you feel like you're choking when you look up and back, or if you can't hold your normal sound when you look up and back. So let's do that one more time if you're feeling up to it, and test it out and say your favorite word and see if you can still use your voice in the position you've chosen. Does your voice stay pretty much the same, or is it strained? And then release. All right. So spinal twist, you can sit cross-legged or you can sit back on your heels and turn to your right. Take 5 breaths. And 5 breaths the other way. Make sure you sit, JL, put, if you're leaning back, put something on, yeah, you already know, yep. So make sure y'all not leaning back to twist. Make sure you're sitting up as straight as possible and turn. Good, and gently release. All right, so coming onto your back. So as you lay on your back, your feet are hip distance apart. You come into Chatushpadasana, palms facing the ceiling, and push your hips upward. So you can stay here or go into Urdhva Dhanurasana with your hands by your head. And lift up. for 5 breaths. Extend the chest. Buttocks active. Tuck your chin and come down. If you were in Urdhva Dhanurasana, take a breath. And then go up again. So again, you could go with your arms by your side or lift all the way up. You can lift your toes and walk your feet in, or lift your heels, Walk your hands and feet together. And gently lower down. Make sure you don't straighten your legs in between. Keep your legs bent. When your knees are bent, your spine is more neutral. If you straighten your legs, it's going to pull your pelvis too much. Okay, so 3rd time's the charm. Chatushpadasana, or lift up. 5 breaths. Press firmly into the floor, your hands and your feet. And gently release. And take your feet as wide as a mat and nice and easy, windshield wipers, left to right. Nice and easy. And rolling over onto your right side to come up to sit, Marichyasana again. You take the support and turn either away or towards your knee, depending on what feels more comfortable to you. Really lift your spine and twist. So don't lean back. You're actually moving your chest closer to your feet, moving your torso closer to your feet. Exhale. Inhale to unwind. And the other side, either turning away or toward. If you can't reach behind you easily, put a block behind you or a book or something that won't slide. Lift and turn. Don't look down, look either parallel with the horizon or up slightly. And you're turning from your chest, not turning from your head. Lead in with your chest. Inhale to unwind. And again, bring the soles of your feet together. Take 5 deep breaths here. Slow, soft, deep inhalations. Slow, soft, deep exhalations. Dandasana, extend your legs, sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to do a few forward extensions. And when you do forward extensions after doing back bends, do them very gently. So don't think about pulling yourself forward as far as possible. You're actually thinking about just gently going forward in a supportive way. So if you have a chair, dining room chair, stability ball, something to lean on. Now, if for some reason you don't have anything to lean on, then just remember you're not pulling yourself hard forward, okay? Gently going forward. So first is Janu Sirsasana. Janu Sirsasana, your right foot is in, your left leg is extended straight from your heel. So you go from Dandasana to Janu Sirsasana. Then you turn towards your left leg. Now you can use a strap. Remember, you're not forcing yourself forward. Be very gentle with yourself. So you can use, like I said, a chair or a ball if you have one. And you're extending forward. Nice and easy. Now when you go forward like this, if your knee hurts with your knee bent, right, if this is too much for your knee, you can take that knee out to the side instead and go forward. And this is enough. Don't try to roll yourself down, just gently extending forward. Legs active. The kneecap benefits from this activity. Being gentle with your body as you extend forward. Exhaling as much as possible while remaining soft in the head and face and your neck. Belly relaxed, belly soft. Exhaling, inhaling to gently release and switch sides. So again, if your foot moving in is not comfortable, you take your leg out to the side. Inhaling and exhaling forward, nice and easy. Belly relaxed. Extend the chest. Shoulders relaxed. Five more deep breaths here. Exhale as much as possible. Even a few times, exhale through your mouth. Kind of like a soft, if you were to blow a dandelion. Two more breaths here. Slowly inhale to release. Paschimottanasana. So again, be gentle because this is a lot. All right? So just be gentle. If you doing Paschimottanasana looks like this, then that is good. That is perfectly fine. It's still a forward extension. The pelvis has to be able to tip forward. So if you're having a lot of trouble here, and maybe you sit on a little something to be able to get your pelvis to tilt forward. This is where the extension is coming from. So nice and easy, legs apart. A Sunday morning, rainy day yoga. Just rigorous enough to help with circulation. Inhaling up. And now, Janu Sirsasana a second time, but this time I'm going to twist first. So take your right foot in, unless you're extending your leg out to the side, and then turn to your right. Go over your shoulder. Gently guide the knee down to the floor. So we're doing the rotated version of Janu Sirsasana. So when you go over to the side, we're not, unless this is very easy for you, you could go down to the side and rotate, or you put your head on the chair. If you don't have that, then you can just put your hand on put one hand on your right knee and then reach up and over like that and look up at the ceiling. So just listen to your body. Take your time. Look up at the ceiling. Saeed, extend your hand closer to your foot. So don't try to pull, don't pull your hand back. Walk it, make your arm long. And see if you can take your arm up overhead so it's a twist. So let me show you what I mean. Make sure that when you twist, that you're not doing this. This is not it, okay? Make sure that you are rotating so that you can look up, okay? So you can use a strap, but your strap, when you use it, you're not bending your elbow, you're extending your arm. So what I mean is, if you're holding the strap like this around your foot, got the 12-foot strap here, you're going to reach like this and you'll automatically do this. So what you've got to do is you got to extend your arm. Okay? Other side. Left foot in. Extend your right leg and twist to your left. Twist to your left. Gently press the knee down. And extend over. So your hand goes from being behind you to up and over. And if you can reach your foot, then that's great. Or you just put your hand on your chair and your head on your chair. Because again, it's not meant to be extremely stressful. So if you feel your body resisting, ease up on yourself. Can you still talk and breathe? Or are you talking like this where you can't really breathe? Make sure that it's nice and easy. Can you sing your favorite song? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs, won't you come and sing with me? Inhale to relax. Nice and easy. Again, Paschimottanasana. Inhale up. Exhale, gently folding forward. And 5 more breaths here. Make sure your head is that you keep your neck open. And coming up to sit. So you can sit in Virasana, or you can sit on a chair or cross-legged. I'm going to do some arm work. So when you sit in Virasana, you can sit on a block or a cushion or whatever you have. You can stack up 1 or 2 blocks. It's going to be here for a while, so make sure that the height you choose is something that you can maintain. Interlace your fingers and push your palms up overhead, Baddha-Uddiyasana. Extend the spine. Thumbs move toward each other. Go down toward the top of the head. 5 breaths. Completely fill, completely empty. And gently release. Switch the crossing of your fingers to non-habitual crossing and reach up. Fully inhale, fully exhale. Soft belly. And release. And lace your fingers behind your back and open your chest. Extend your hands downward. Open your chest. Again, don't overly contract your belly. If you overly contract your belly, you will actually prevent your chest from opening. Release. Cross in a non-habitual way and open again. You're extending your arms downward behind you and slightly lifting, just a little bit. Gomukhasana, take your right hand up, touch the top of your spine, and hold your elbow. Bring your elbow more toward the back of your head. Now, if you have on bulky clothes, this can actually block your posture. I'm going to take this bulky sweatshirt off. So make sure that you don't have bulky jewelry, things like that that can get in the way. And if you can't reach your hand up and under, you can use a broomstick or a strap, piece of fabric, a towel, anything you have to open. You can even use that bulky shirt if you took it off. And you gently guide your hands toward each other, opening your chest. Keep your head lifted. Be gentle with yourself. And change the side. Hold your elbow up initially. Just gently. Let your whole side get long. From your hip all the way to your elbow. Let it get long. And if you need a strap, use a strap or hold your own hand behind you. And walk your hands together. Nice and easy. Don't force anything. Relax your feet. Gently release. Paschimottanasana, you bring your palms to touch behind you. Now, if this is too much, you can reach for opposite elbows behind you. Just like that. You can reach for opposite elbows. Show you on the back. You're either holding on to opposite elbows or your palms are touching. Touch as much of your palm together as you can. Look up slightly. Release and repeat, either switching the crossing of your hands or palms together again. And gently release. Coming down to the floor. And placing your hands underneath your hips with your knees bent. This is good to do after being on a computer all day, or if you've been driving, any position that would make your wrists tired. The weight of your hips on your wrist gently. Give yourself a little traction. And adjust accordingly. If something doesn't feel right, then fix it. Move your body to make it feel better. And release. And come into Viparita Karani. So in Viparita Karani, you can take a bolster underneath your hips if you have one and go to the wall. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now sometimes if your back is sore, that lift doesn't feel nice. So you do it without the lift. So you do this either up against the wall or over your couch or chair. Or you rest on top of the cushion, or you could do directly on the floor. Now, people have a tendency to hold their thighs together here. Let your legs go. So your arms relax by your side. Keep your arms below your heart level because we are relaxing at this point. Arms overhead is more stimulating, so make sure your arms are down. Slow, soft, deep inhalations. Slow, soft, deep exhalations. Feel the weight of yourself on the floor. You can stay here if you feel comfortable, or go into traditional classical Shavasana, laying on your back. For 2 minutes more. Move away from controlling the breath and now observing the breath. So if you find it difficult to observe your breath, you can put your hands on your belly. And observe the rise and fall of your belly, just naturally happening. Relax your throat. Soften your shoulders. Feel the rise and fall of your belly with the breathing naturally. One minute more. For your right leg and how it feels against the floor or the wall, wherever it is. Feel the left leg. Left hip. Right hip. Torso from your spine, base of your spine, up along your spine, the muscles on either side, vertebrae that are touching the floor. The ribs, shoulders, up to your head. The weight of your right arm, your left arm, sense yourself as a whole. W-H-O-L-E, whole. You are whole. And roll over onto your right side. Pause for a moment. Slowly coming up into a comfortable seat. Think of something you are grateful for. Namaste, y'all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up for yourselves and for each other. You know why. Because it really does make a difference.